has developed a GPS for learning similar to Google Maps. It understands the learner's current location in terms of their knowledge, mindsets, abilities, interests, etc. And based on what their learning destination is, generates a personalized pathway of learning resources. And as they journey through their pathway, it reroutes them based on performance to so that the learner can get to their destination no matter what, right? Uh, Guru has apps for the learner, both on the mobile and on the web. And in this case, we are looking at the learner's mobile app. The learner can pick anything that they want to learn, but let's look at what their skyline looks like first. All right. Here's the skyline for the learner across all the subjects that they are studying. It could be about math, science, ELA, it could be about soft skills, cloud computing, etc. The thick white line represents what their current knowledge is in each of these subjects. For this demo, let's look at the learner's math proficiency. And what we are seeing here is the competency model for math. Each column here represents a domain in math, whether it is counting in cardinality, geometry, or fractions. And the thick white line identifies the highest competency this learner has mastered in each of these domains. The learner can choose what they want to learn. In this case, this learner wants to get to grade 8 math. And the thick green line identifies all the competencies that this learner has to master in order to complete grade 8 math. The learner can ask for directions, and what MyGuru generates is a personalized pathway from their current location to their destination. The typical understanding is that if a student is in grade 8, that they know everything up to grade 7. But in reality, they may have proficiency up to grade 7 in certain topics, but they are likely to have gaps going back a couple of grade levels in other topics. What MyGuru does is generates a pathway covering all of those milestones, and the learner can inspect any milestone to look at all the domains that they need to cover within that, drill down into the domain to see all the topics. For each topic, what are the competencies and what are all the learning activities for every competency in their route. Having inspected the route, the learner can begin their journey. And what MyGuru provides is a series of learning activities for every competency in their route. The learning activities can be watching a video or can be doing a project offline. Learning is not about just watching videos and answering multiple choice questions. It's about wide spectrum of learning, which also includes doing activities outside of the system, right? Like completing some project or going to a seminar and etc. Now the learner can complete that project offline or work with interactives. For each of these concepts that the learner is going through, MyGuru is actually looking at what the learner is doing and making personalized recommendations for the learner based on signs of learning. Because it understands the learner very well in terms of not only their proficiency in the current competency, their proficiency in dependent competencies, their reading level, their interests, etc., it personalizes this content. For example, simplifying the concept in ways in which this learner can understand, right? Or provide engaging content such as did you know facts, or a step-by-step guide to understanding how to solve problems related to this concept. And for the offline activity that the learner has just completed, the learner can grade themselves on the rubric or an instructor can grade them. Having completed studying this concept, they now answer a series of questions to demonstrate their proficiency in this. The learner answers these questions and hasn't done very well, scored only 50%. And so MyGuru is actually making a reroute recommendation. Now, the reroute recommendation can be to learn the concept again, or could be for a dependent concept where the learner has, gaps or has done that study a while ago, etc. Or it could be about clearing misconceptions that they have based on how they answer the questions. And what MyGuru says is, hey, they're better off actually connecting with someone to get their misconception cleared. And it can be either talking to their teachers or to peers who have understood the concept well. The learner can pick who they want to interact with, ask questions, and get their misconceptions cleared. Of course, the learner can go through the recommended learning activity and now demonstrate their proficiency. Answer the series of questions again. This time round, the learner does well and scores 100%. And they can now go look at how their skyline is bumping up one competency at a time towards their destination. My guru is, of course, watching what the learner is doing and makes recommendations saying, hey, now that you have mastered this competency, why don't you get some more practice or maybe improve depth of knowledge in that particular competency? Right. So, what my guru is actually doing is telling the learner what they need to do, uh, one competency at a time, pick up the next lesson that they need to do, or at any point in time, go look at what their learning journey is, what are all the readout recommendations that they have taken, what is coming up next, or look at the progress that they have made towards their learning destination. Of course, they can go look at any competency that they have mastered and see what they have done in order to gain proficiency in that. This is, in essence, what the learner's experience is. It is taking the user through their learning journey one competency at a time.